Okay, going over the worst revision in history as far as the BLS admits a record nine more than 900,000 fewer jobs were added under Biden. So the BLS, considered the Bureau of Labor Statistics, admits a record 900,000 more fewer jobs were added under Biden. So that was the title of the article. Let's go through it, analyze it. Shout out to Zero Hedge. Um, like, comment, subscribe while you're at it. So we have an article that says brace for another huge negative payrolls revision. So it's saying a record 900,000 payrolls for the period between April 2024 and March 2025 will be revised away. The biggest revisions were in leisure and hospitality, professional and business services, retail, and wholesale trade sectors. Let's see what else they're saying. Say it was the biggest revision on history on record. Taking at face value, the payroll growth averaged 71,000 jobs between April 24th and April 25th versus 174,000 jobs a month that's currently reported in the payroll stats. No wonder the WSJ, which is the Wall Street Journal, now reports that the White House prepares reports critical stat agency. Fake job numbers that were created by the Biden admin and saddled Trump with relentless negative revisions. They're saying that the new administration inherited a far worse economy than reported, and he's right to say the Fed is messing up with the growth with high rates. Let's see. J.D. Vance, vice president, said it's difficult to overstate how useless BLS data has become. A change was necessary to restore confidence. So what does all this mean? So yeah, what does this 900,000 jobs revision mean? It means the new administration is correct to fire the BLS commissioner 1 month ago. 1 year of major negative revisions is happenstance, twice as coincidence, 3 times as enemy action. And in her case, it was just unexcusable incompetence as the most important economic data point the market uses was wrong. There was virtually no domestic job creation in the last year of the Biden admin, when one excludes the hundreds of thousands of illegal aliens who entered the workforce. The Fed should have started cutting rates in February and would have started cutting rates in February if it knew the true state of the U.S. labor market. So wow, that's all this administration does is pretty much blame everything on the previous administration and how we got to do all this, fixing up to get everything back on track. That's all they do. 2 million, just as remarkable, 2 million jobs from the last 3 years of the Biden admin have now been revised away. One thing that will never be revised away, however, is the trillions in debt accumulated over this period, in which we now learn encumbered future generations of Americans with massive amounts of debt, only to create far fewer jobs than initially reported. Okay, so we got about 700 comments on this article and about 58,000 views it shows. So one of the top ranked comments, 112 to 3. When I say 112 to 3, I mean 112 upvotes on the comments, likes on the comments, versus 3 would be dislikes or downvotes to the comments. So 112 to 3 were pretty good. Premium member too, so that means he pays at least $20-$30 a month or more to be, labeled a premium member. He says, my wife and I. So this is the interesting thing about the Zero Hedge comment site. I'll give him props on it. Versus other comment sites. On this for this comment site, it shows if you pay that certain membership fee of $20-$30 a month. I think it's somewhere close to that range. It shows that when you make a comment, it puts premium next to the username. But what other sites do that? And have a comment section that's really engageful and popping and even make you laugh. It is like, yeah, if you read enough comments on Zero Hedge of some of these articles, you will giggle, and yeah, to some of them for real. So he says, my wife and I own 2 small businesses, and she also has a full-time job in this way for 6 years. Can someone please explain what the hell the rest of the country does all day? Either they're just lounging around, or they're looking for work, or they're working. I mean, what else would they be doing? Lounging around, just lying flat, saying F it, working, or looking, working on looking for work. Watch The View, the soap, smoke crack, and eat Doritos, the ones that taste like barbecue. Invert this, media matters, monkeys. 87-0 on that comment. Watch The View, soap, smoke crack, and eat Doritos, the ones that taste like barbecue. He said it was a premium member too that comment. Another premium member commented by the name of The Last Air Handshaker. Bravo channel, and comment on how they hate Orange Man. How they hate the Orange Man. Interesting. 49-0. And another comment, but not a premium member. It's amazing how badly these bureaucrats can do their jobs and keep them. Yeah, it's amazing how badly they can do their jobs and keep them. Yeah, that goes with most of these politicians. Interesting. You call them bureaucrats. You didn't even call them politicians. What's even more amazing is that taxpayers continue to tolerate it. Yeah. U.S., we tolerate too much. Way too much. Compared to other countries, we tolerate not having universal, free universal care like other countries have. We tolerate a lot of nonsense that other countries won't, and other countries will be ready to have a revolution over. Poppin' Fresh, 27-1 on this comment. So the previous comment was 54-0. This comment by Poppin' Fresh was replying to the previous one was, tolerance for BS of any form is over. The part of the story where people are hung and fed to the hog starts now. If you are not squeaky clean, it's F you pretty much. This is war, no prison, no quarter, no mercy, no kidding. 27-1. And Gargolic username responds 5-0. When it comes to management, there are very few with the natural ability that can apply themselves and their abilities with beneficial effect into most any situation. Such people are born leaders in the previous era that initially had some freedom from totalitarian, corrupt, and whatever individuals. So what happened? Nothing short of the We'll go to the next comment. 13-0 by Infotech Sailor. Stats were pumped to save the Dems and everybody knows it. How many BLS jobs will be cut? Not enough. 13-0 on that one. 9-0 response by, not gonna say this username, but his comment was BLMers go out after dark to score. Some didn't spend rest of the night settling on corner they're assigned to, and they can do maths in Chicago. Wow. He said they can do maths in Chicago. He put the S on the maths. Reply by someone named Shocker. After many years under Trump, we are finally reporting correct numbers. Then he put the link for dailyjobcuts.com. Yeah, dailyjobcuts.com does show you pretty much they report a lot of the layoffs, and I think even maybe hiring, but most of them be layoffs of happening within the US. I don't even think they deal with other countries. I think it's mainly US based. dailyjobcuts.com. Then we go to Adam Sorrell. Okay, but get your, so that means that is the main website that's tracking job cuts. Adam Sorrell. Okay, but get back to your PlayStation. 2-1. We 11 minutes in. So subdue premium member 32-0 on this comment. Thank LBJ and creating the welfare state to guarantee future Dem voters. It's why the founding fathers considered the word Dem a curse word, or democracy a curse word. They knew history, and yet it's blathered in our face daily like it's something worth protecting. Individual rights are worth protecting, not democracy. In the fall of civilization, their final act is to loot the treasury. That was Obama's 3 terms, communist effort, 32-0. Got another comment by cognitive dissonance, a premium member, 5-0 on this comment. This is why I always tell people pictures or it never happened. Interesting. Pictures or it never happened. Interesting. Let's see what else they saying. By big cumulus clouds, 5-1. Charlie Bolello, the U.S. national debt has increased by 1.2 trillion since the debt ceiling was raised just 2 months ago. The debt-based currency has entered whirlpool, soon to be flushed out. Wow, they're printing that much? Wow. Well, USA is a threat to the world. Adam Sorrell replied 3-1 on that. Let's see, another premium member, till debt do us part, premium member, 29-3. I see a lot of loser kids with parents staying with parents jobless that believe a job is beneath them if they do not get paid what they believe they are worth. 29-3. Then someone replied, premium member, Mr. Darkshine, when the only candidate available jobs do nothing to improve your station and to improve your station and situation and offer no paths towards doing so in the future. Why work 40 hours a week when you can just as much doing nothing? So yeah, that's an interesting concept that people working and still, not able to be able to afford the basics. Because a lot of these minimum wage jobs paying only 10, 12, 14, 16 an hour. Yeah, it's still hard to afford the basics. Basic housing, basic transportation vehicle, which in most cities you most likely will need a vehicle. We could do a part 2 on this. Maybe let's see what else they saying. And then Cooler Roy 11-15. It means he got way more disvotes than upvotes. Said everyone has to start somewhere, work hard, get experience, move up, get a better job. Sitting on the couch playing video games is absolutely guaranteed to get you nowhere. I had 2 relatives who started at the bottom in a factory and in warehousing. Both became managers in their 40s, making over 120 with no college education. In a factory or warehousing? Nah, it sounds like BS. They were in a factory and warehousing making 6 figures. Mr. Darkshine responded 20 to 17. Tell me you're a boomer without telling me you're a boomer. The upward mobility you're describing is a thing of the past. Even if you can go from flipping burgers to manager of a Burger King, nobody wants to slave away for 10 years just to level up to $20 an hour. And he got 21 to 16 on that. Because I put an upvote on it to make it 21 to 16. So that's pretty close of dislikes to likes to dislikes. So that's what it is, man. Maybe we could do a part 2. But this was an interesting comment by Premium Gulo member. Premium Gulo is his name. He responded to one of the previous comments. They got 11 to 15. The comment before the last one I just mentioned. Not everyone can become managers and leaders. There are still more people who started at the bottom and are still there in their 40s at the same place. Some people just don't have it, and you are missing the point. Standards will keep decreasing for entry-level income jobs, just a symptom of the system. So what you're able to gain on entry-level income jobs will keep decreasing. Interesting. And that's for most, jobs in general. Even six-figure jobs is like 100,000. Making 100,000 now is like making 50,000, 60,000, 70,000 back in the 90s or even early 2000s or even 2010s. So some dude put a story, got 10 to 1 about how he went to the Marine Corps at 17 and now he has a business and might be, he said he retired possibly. So yeah, that's interesting how some dudes could go to the military and retire, in their 40s or even, 30s maybe. Yeah, that's interesting. 10 to 1 on that. So that's what it is, man. And someone went off on this comment. This video might go 19 minutes. XL1 said, look, I know boomers actually had a political power as anyone else. The landscape of the U.S. job market and incentives are nothing like they were in the 60s. Offshoring and importing worldwide employees for local jobs both messed up any incentives to study, work hard. How are you going to become an expert when entry-level jobs require 5 years experience and their elders shit on them instead of mentoring? Interesting. This lack of empathy for 40% and declining white population, unrelenting replacement immigration, and corporations that actually have negative loyalty is why they hate your cohort. Interesting. Avocado toast, bootstraps, and grit get you nothing when foreigners will hire their own. The latter wasn't just pulled up behind our posterity, it was gifted to those that hate everything this country stands for. Wow, 33 to 1, because I added a like comment. Make it 33. So we were 19 minutes in. Alright, so we'll stop it right there. Maybe we could do a part 2 on this. But that's what it is for the like, comment, subscribe. That's what it is for the worst revisions in history for jobs. Worst revision in history, BLS admits a record 900,000 fewer jobs were added under Biden. So worst revision in history. So they really shitting on the Biden administration for cooking the numbers drastically, almost by 1 million. So that's what it is, man. I'ma holler.